Folks, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show here in Houston, Texas, with an entrepreneur, serious business cat, and a beautiful person, Dave Jacoby. Welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show.
Thanks for having me.
Can you talk a little bit about the hotel that you are going to be opening in December?
Sure. So we're working on Hotel Lucine in Galveston, Texas. It is a low-slung, mid-century modern hotel, originally built as a treasure isle in 1963. It's gone through a few iterations and some ups and downs since then. But we purchased it about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and we are revamping it into what will be the only really true progressive boutique hotel anywhere on the Gulf Coast here around Texas. Incredible food and beverage from our friends. We actually just ate at Theodore Rex, Justin Yu's restaurant. Food from him and our other food and beverage partner, Bobby Hugel. The two of them are partners on several other restaurants here in Galveston, but they'll be running all the food and beverage. And we're right on the beach in Galveston. We'll be a little bit fun, a little bit weird, but certainly different from anything else you've seen before in Galveston.
Just two words that I want you to break down a little bit more: progressive and boutique. That some people could think that that's, sort of highfalutin stuff, but in your mind, as it relates to Galveston, what do those two concepts mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. And those are words that get used as buzzwords, and different people bring their own baggage to those words. So I'll start with the first one, progressive. I'll harken back to the dinner we just ate at Theodore Rex, but it is not steak and potatoes. It is different adaptations of flavors, and we had an orange wine that was a mold of three different wines. Just different new expressions on maybe old flavors and tastes that are not to eschew what happened in the past, but to try to expand on that. So when I say progressive, I use that food and beverage example, but the same progressive nature will exist in the way we treat our staff, the way we treat our guests, the way the place is designed, the overall look and feel of the property. Your other question was boutique. The other word you wanted me to focus on was boutique.
Because you know what that means is, like, in my mind, when I hear that, it means high end. But do you believe that this is going to be for the common man?
Yeah, and people bring different things to the word boutique.
Absolutely.
I don't love that word. I only use it because many of the other hotels in Galveston are big box, big branded hotels. So I want to differentiate away from that, and the word boutique is the fastest way for me to get there with a lot of people. But it doesn't quite feel right for me either. Maybe personal is a better word I could use. It's a labor of love for myself, my wife, who's born and raised in Galveston. We're very involved in the community there. We don't want to take this hotel and make it a big box that we poured in. We don't want to take it and make it a reflection of Galveston where we show Galveston back to itself. We want this to be a new character in the landscape that is Galveston, and I think that's what we're going to deliver here from our personality, our blood, sweat, and tears.
Just talk for a minute about how you're going to the challenge of not being a direct mirror to Galveston, but being more inclusive to maybe an international, the world community to a degree. How do you do that in Galveston?
Yeah, that's a good question. Galveston is a lot of things to a lot of people, and we're 45-ish minutes from Houston, which is one of the largest and one of the most diverse cities in the country. So we want to make sure we give a lot of different people a place to go on the beach, and I think there's an unmet crowd that doesn't really have a place to go in Galveston right now, but would love to go to the beach, and that's kind of the younger, again, more progressive, forward-thinking customer that lives in and around Houston and other points of Texas. So I think that's kind of who we're looking at, and I think those people are looking at us now.
Can you just talk a little bit about sort of your vision as it relates to the music of the venue, and ultimately how cathartic it's been for you to sort of have a renaissance with the bass? Picking up the bass.
Sure. That's two very loaded questions there, but I would say from the hotel's perspective, I wanted to make sure we had the ability to have smallish acts there. We'll have a couple of spaces in the hotel. I guess
it'll be up to immediately.
That's right. Yeah. It'll be up to the fire marshal to tell us how many people we can fit in these spaces, but call it 200 in one space, maybe 400 in another, to give it a ballpark. Both of them are outdoor venues, One of them is covered, one of them's not. But I see this as being a great place for Texas artists to come and play. It is high expectations, low pretense. It's the kind of place where there'll be great food and beverage.
I love it, man.
A lot of chill people there. You're playing, literally with the backdrop being the Gulf of Mexico and a sunset and the water. The kind of place where you feel like the band can talk to the audience and hang out and then go stay on property and do their own thing and be left alone.
How meaningful is it to, maybe it's a little bit premature, but can you talk about how your kids, even though they're young, see you differently in terms of pioneering this venture? It's exciting. It's also scary. I just feel like my kids look at me and they know, well, Dad's a little bit crazy, but you know what? He's passionate and he's doing what he loves. And I just wanted you to talk a little bit about how invigorating it is as a father to see, for your kids to, even though they may not completely get it right now, they will later.
That's a great point. And to key on the last thing you said, that they'll get it later. I think a lot of being a good parent is modeling for your kids. So it's really important for me to be around them and to show them passion in what you do, loving your partner in doing it, being present for your kids when you need to be there, and being good at what you do too. And I try to bring my kids along, and I try to show them the construction site, and I try to involve them in ways, and if they don't want to do it, I don't push them. But it's funny, they outwardly will tell me that they could give two shits about what I'm doing, but then I hear them talk to other people and they talk about it like it's cool, so I know it's in there.
Dude,
I know they care.
Dude, believe me, man, one day they'll be taking this place over for you, man.
I would hope so. And, there are very few or not enough female developers in the real estate world, so I want to show that to my daughters and let them know that that's on the menu of options for them. They don't need to select it, but I want them to think that that's real and it's a possibility for them.
We're ready to rock out to Circles Around the Sun. Dave Jacoby, it's been 6 years, man, but such an honor to see you, man.
Happy to be here, man.
It's the Jake Feinberg Show. See you later.